welcome back to Total Spotfest. This is JJ Brownlee. That is Jamie Faulkner. Welcome you back to another episode where we have big things to attend to. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. If it's your first time here, hello. I am our champion. Yes, we do this for all our pay-per-views, and we made our own belt. I made our belt. I'm going to put that out there. I physically made our belt. But no, Jamie and I will be competing for this momentarily here. We're going to talk about, because we had Double or Nothing over the weekend. Also, we had another Journey Pro show. The lights stayed on for the most part.
They did. They really did.
I legit thought it was a work. Like I said, it'd be funny as hell if, like, right at the main event, if Walter just like flipped the trigger real fast on the breaker and then turn it back on, But anyway, as I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, you can join the conversation. Hit us a comment down below, or you can hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Like, subscribe, share, all the things. Jamie, how have you been, my man?
I am good. I'm surprisingly not sunburned from all of the time in the sun over
softball games over the weekend.
I spent a total of 32 hours in the sun over Memorial Day weekend.
Wow.
And not a burn. I had a little bit on my neck, but it tanned out nicely. So,
well, you said last year at Weekend of Journeys, you're a pro. This is what you do, right? Not. Mm-hmm. If it was me, red as shit, but you know what's up. So,
True story.
Oh, well, it is that time of year, and I know you got an upcoming trip. You got softball coming up.
Oklahoma City going this weekend.
I know. So even more softball. Well, we got something really cool because next Wednesday is Dynamite in Kansas City, and we're going to be hanging out with a bunch of our friends over at the podcast to be renamed at a later time, formerly Bruisers, Breakdowns, and Beards. I don't know. Kevin, Mike, you gotta pick a name. Just pick a name, even if you don't start recording. Just pick a name. They just
figure off the pot. They've been saying this has been under construction for like the past 6 months. It's like, come on.
I know. Just give it an A name, even if give it the old name, shit, whatever. Just give it something,
and then start recording because you guys are good.
We're gonna be hanging out there. Dallas Cade and his family gonna be with us. Our good friend Robin Burgirl. Hey, Robin. She's gonna be there. Chris Mowry from Journey Pro, a bunch of others. So we all got like chipped in and got a luxury box or or a suite or whatever. So I think it's going to be really cool. I've never actually watched a wrestling event not in the midst of the unwashed masses, right?
the untarnished, if you will.
The untarnished. Is that Elden Ring reference you're throwing out there?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you beat it yet?
Oh yeah.
Which ending did you do? Did you do the Reina's ending or?
I got the Reina's ending.
Okay,
because I did her storyline and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched two. So I watched when Cole did it. He just did I think he did the Reina's ending. And then when Evil Uno did it on Twitch, I think he did the first option ending, just puts it together. So.
Oh, okay. You didn't get the Dung Eater?
I don't think he did the Dung Eater path.
Because I'm going through it again, trying to get the Dung Eater.
You're trying. Jamie's a completionist by nature. Are you going to try and 100% this son of a bitch? I don't know if that's even possible.
I don't think it's possible, but I missed so many storylines early, because I was just like fighting and leveling up, and then I end up like going into a dungeon I'm not supposed to, and it's like, oh hey, there's this lady locked up here, but I can't talk to her because I haven't talked to her in this other thing, and it just destroys her quest line. It's like, ugh.
Good games. I generally think I'm going to get that. I really do, So anyway, more video game talk to come later. We had, like I said, lots of wrestling to get to. So last night's Dynamite was the post Double or Nothing. We're going to talk about Double or Nothing in a minute, but let's go chronological on this. So Friday night was the second event at the Agnes or the Journey Pro
JPA.
Arena. The Journey Pro
at
Arena,
Agnes.
at Agnes, yeah, as we like to call it. Headlocks for the Cure, a co-show benefiting Head for the Cure, a cancer charity that DJ Stewart, one of the owners, is heavily involved in, of course, because he's a brain cancer survivor. So, Jamie, why don't you kind of talk about, we're not going to run through the entire card here. You could definitely go to their Twitch and rewatch it for free, twitch.tv/journey2anarchy. But let's talk a little bit about Friday night.
Banger of a show, always is. It had a lot of, what can I say? A lot of surprises, but one, I'm going to just pat myself on the mother effing back. I called 100%.
You weren't the only one, to be fair. I was with you on that as well. But
I'm the one who put it into the earth, to the realm of Earth, if you will, of Terra. And Chris even says, you were right. I'm like, I know I was right. I'm Mark Stradamus.
You were the last about it. I'm going to give it to you for sure. So.
Yeah. So, and that was the obvious turn on the thumbs and buns. Buns is officially turned on thumbs. And then now Fowler has joined the Reckoning, which they came out to seek and destroy, which I was very excited about. Like, that's an awesome
was amazing
entrance song. And honestly, like, Luke Langley looked great. We bought his shirt. I wore it out to my daughter's softball games. I didn't even care. Like, and it's gonna become our championship day shirt because we did so well with it. So, and I'm a tad bit superstitious.
Just a little.
That was a great piece there. You had the premiere being faces, basically.
Yeah.
Going against GPA and Laney Luck.
It didn't start off like that, but did they really turn face? I mean, they kind of got, there was a whole like injury angle they did with SK and I don't know. It's like
he sold the shit out of that. That looked great.
I mean,
by the way.
Everybody was legit thinking he really did like tear his ACL or something. Like, oh shit! But no, maybe they are face. I don't know what to do with myself if the premiere is face because
and the Howlets are faces. The Howlets are faces right now too. Everybody's loving the heel shit. Everybody's loving it. I feel like we've been down since day one, but. It's fine. You can jump on the bandwagon with us. It's cool. We don't hate.
We don't trademark. We're good. Share alike. That's kind of in the heel shit mold, right? So I do love how heel shit has permeated not just with the Howlets, but if you listen to the broadcast, Kramer and Hartzell, they use heel shit the word a lot, and I'm like, yeah,
that's us. That's us. That's us.
But it is because of the Howlets, and they are definitely there's as I said, Spike Dudley. That is Micah. He is the Spike Howlet of the group, and I can't wait. It's going to be a great 6-man tag when it eventually happens.
So during the GPA Laney Luck versus the premiere match, there was a first, ladies and gentlemen. There was a first. I yelled figure 4. Not Lion Tamer.
Both me and Kev, who were sitting on either side of Jamie, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were just like, are you feeling all right?
But it played out because he hurt his knee. You can't really do a lion tamer with a hurt knee. You have to do something that works on the knee. Maybe a sharpshooter, but I yelled figure 4 because it looked like he was setting him up for one. Made a lot of sense. Another big thing, real quick, the Kenny Alfonso Moonshine Mantel last man standing match was amazing. It was the main event. There was a point at the very end where Kenny was like on top and he's like, chairs, throw him in the ring. So everybody, including JJ, threw a chair into the ring, and he did a Hurricane Rana onto the chairs to get the win to hopefully conclude the feud between Moonshine Mantel and him. So now we can see hopefully hopefully we can see Kenny go on into the title picture.
It's the most logical way to go. Champion Christian Rose retained. Somehow he got his bell rung hard by Jossie, but was able to still pick up the victory on him. Jossie, wonderful as always. And then he did a big promo afterwards, kind of, calling out anybody, right? But I think you're right. I feel like maybe not immediately, but Kenny is on the trajectory, I think, where he needs to be in the title hunt. We talked about this a few months back, since the rebirth, the post-COVID era of Journey Pro, whether that be Blip or now at Agnes. Kenny's definitely been that forefront. He's hot as hell, in a commodity in wrestling. And before he's too busy doing nothing but GCW and AEW and whatever else, let's give him a run here. So I'm with you. I don't think right away, though. I think that maybe setting up for fall-ish, but
that'd be good. That'd be great. Have a nice little title run for Christian, and he drops it to Kenny. So other than that, they did announce that the next show is going to be June 24th. JJ will be out of town seeing some obscure band that only 3 people have heard of. But it's
one day only, one weekend only. Actually, did 2 shows, but one day only in all essence. Original members reunion show, and I was like, we're not missing this. Me and my buddy got tickets in the pre-sale, so yeah, I will be out of town for that show. So if you're going to that, Jamie needs somebody to sit by with him and do all the chants that Jamie and I usually do together. So please look.
But they did announce one person will be there so far. The Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
And that breaks my heart because I want to see Masha again. Oh.
She changed her hair, so she's no longer the Russian Rogue.
Have you seen her with the dragon mask thing or whatever it's called? Or
no,
she has this like new entrance that I don't know if she pulls it at certain. I think if she pulls it at certain promotions, because she's very much. She's got the Bride of Frankenstein hair in Impact, right? Which, you do yourself a favor, go up on YouTube, watch her and Havoc. From last week's Impact, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
I did watch that.
So I think she might do different entrances, but I can't remember if it was GCW or whatever it was, because this past weekend at Double or Nothing, they had a bunch of ancillary events, right? GCW had Black Label Pro had an event. Their Wrestling Revolver had 2 events down there, and I don't remember what it was, but she had this like different gear, different jacket sort of thing with it was like a trail on it of sorts, and this like red like Japanese demon mask thing. So I don't know. I thought you saw it. So anyway,
no, sounds badass.
You would dig it.
I was at a ball field when that happened. Sorry.
You have the internet. You can see Twitter. Come on.
I know. But when I got home, I was just dead to the world, and
I hear you.
It took every ounce of my being to watch the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I haven't even started freaking Stranger Things.
I haven't even got into Stranger Things either. Don't worry about it.
But all right, so that brings me actually right into our indie wrestler spotlight. I feel like this is a good segue right into it because we're talking indie wrestling before we get into the heavy hitters of the AEW pay-per-view. Hopefully new champion for life. And then obviously into Dynamite. So I thought, since this is Pride Month, I thought it would be a good thing to celebrate members of the LGBTQ plus community. And as a proud father of a member of that and a proud brother of a member of that, I felt like it was a good thing to do. And this person is non-binary, a complete badass, a part of the Wasteland War Party, none other than Max the Impaler. Oh my God, they are ridiculous. Like they are just big, beefy, badass from hell, and I am here for it. Scary as hell. I love the makeup. Just go do yourself a favor. Watch a few of Max's matches. They've had quite a few great ones recently too, even over in London.
The London trip. If their London trip doesn't get you to subscribe to their Twitter, I don't know if Twitter's for you. I'm just gonna like seeing Max do some of the things and the way the humor involved in it. It was fantastic, but the matches were wonderful. They doubles a bear too. I don't know if you knew that. You remember that?
Which I thought was great because Masha versus the bear, which is Masha and the bear, which is a Russian cartoon that my kids evidently like to watch, even though it's in Russian. Whatever. It's a YouTube.
It's
thing.
A global world. I mean, come on, K-pop's the biggest thing in music.
Yeah, but yeah, like Max is a bear. Max fought actually a really great match against Charles Crowley. Like, wow, that was over there in England. Like, they just like beat the shit out of his back. Like, great gifts. But you could follow this Max the Impaler on _ first. This is what got me too. _ they are Max _ on the Twitters. I believe it's the same exact thing on the Grams, but definitely on the Twitters.
Links are down below no matter what. If you can't type, you just go down below. You can click on it.
But I thought that'd be a good one to start with.
That's a good
Max
one.
Max is absolutely amazing. They are undeniable.
We will see them. We will see them in Journey Pro. I have full faith that one day we will. I know Chris and DJ had told us they were trying to get it there, and I think Heidi as well had mentioned that it's just trying to balance all the schedules, whatever, and they finally were able to get Leon, and they were hopeful to get Max, but Max had the London thing that so I have faith. It may not be any time like soon, next month or two, but sometime here in the future, I'm sure we will get to see them because that's one that I haven't seen Max live. Not yet.
Never seen them live, and I am dying to see them. Just like Kid Bandit. Like, I have to see Kid Bandit.
Yes, Kid, for sure. So that's great. So independent wrestling spotlight. Like I said, every week we'll feature an independent wrestler you may have heard of, you may not have. And if you haven't, go check him out. Give him a follow. Well worth it.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, there's more to this world than just AEW, WWE, New Japan. They have to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. Support local wrestling. They support your community. Just do it.
That's how people like this get these pops. That's how Young Bucks are what the Young Bucks are. And Malachi, developed his character work by his work on the Youngins and Punk and Joe and Adam Cole and all of them. That's how it starts. And then it ends with a big shiny belt on their shoulder, right? And that's what we're going to get to today. So, does our pay-per-view title, if you probably have already watched Double or Nothing, but does our pay-per-view title change hands? That's the real question. So, we did our picks as always. Jamie, myself, the tyrant known as Megan Faulkner, all three of us did our picks. Megan hasn't won in quite a while. I do gotta say, I gotta stop like dogging on her because
it's been me.
It has been you. And you've won since we rebranded into an official singular title instead of the toy belt for every single promotion, which was admittedly too much.
Yeah.
It was a lot to do. So anyway, since we won this, you were the inaugural Total Spotfest champion. I've won.
And 5-time.
Okay.
5-time.
Over. Okay.
5-time.
Yes. As far as
time.
this, you're one time. And I am a one time as well. The reset of the world. It's our world building exercise. We've reset the multiverse. And so, anyway, I did retain it, even though it went to double, triple overtime. Doesn't matter. So we got picks in. We have a card to talk about because, wow, Tony. Including the buy-in match, 15 matches on the card.
Which is insane.
I'm not going to say it's a WrestleMania length pay-per-view, but it's kind of a WrestleMania length pay-per-view almost. It wasn't quite as long. I remember the year that they had the triple threat women's match with Ronda Rousey, and it was like almost 7 hours of wrestling, and
it was ridiculous.
I just didn't care anymore. I just didn't want anything to go. I couldn't like go away, but I didn't want anything else to happen. So I'm just gonna plow through this here. Give you a real quick, touch on our picks here, but we did have a tiebreaker. Spoiler: we didn't need it. So Hookhausen, Tony Nese, Mark Sterling was the buy-in. Hookhausen won. We all picked Hookhausen. Hookhausen looked great. I want to keep saying Hookhausen. Hookhausen.
Yes. Give me some more of Hookhausen.
And man, the pop for them
was definite.
It was one of the biggest of the night, honest to God. So
it really was. Like, because just everybody's been wanting it, and they got it together and just
finally got it. And Danhausen looked great. It was fantastic. So at one point, we all started off easy. And then the show started. They started with Wardlow MJF. Now, the big story over the weekend, aside from the actual pay-per-view, was everything surrounding MJF. Is it a work? Is it not a work? He skipped out on the meet and greet, and there was supposedly an airline ticket bought, and all this stuff. Well, he was at the pay-per-view, and they started it. And Wardlow, MJF. Me and Jamie both picked Wardlow, and your daughter picked MJF for some reason. I felt like this was the easiest one to pick. I don't know why.
I did too. I was like, are you serious? It's like, because it was right before game too. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, okay, well, that's a loss. I even said that to her earlier.
I know she likes MJF, but okay. It was a loss for Megan. Wardlow did win. It wasn't a complete squash, but it kind of was, and then they wheeled out MJF on a stretcher with the oxygen tank over his eyes, oxygen mask over his eyes. It was entertaining. So we get going and we keep moving on there. The Hardys Young Bucks, which I picked the Bucks as well as Megan, and Jamie picked the Hardys. And this match, you definitely could tell the Hardys' age if you watched this match. Just saying. Not that I didn't appreciate it. The Bucks carried a lot of it. Hardys ended up getting the victory, right? Jeff hurt himself, shocker, in doing so. It is what it is. So, my first loss, Jamie, Megan's only got one. Jamie's got 3. I got 2. Then you had Jade Cargill, Anna Jay, a late addition. It was okay.
It was.
And therein lies the problem. We all picked Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill won. Therein lies the problem with Jade Cargill. She's come a long way. We know that. Depending on whom she's wrestling, there can be a pretty good match in there. But for the most part, she's still a pretty green rookie. Anna Jay is not as green as her. And I mean, Jade, she shouldn't have to carry this match. So the good we got from that is near the end, you had runouts and stuff. You had the baddies come out, right? And Mark Sterling and then Johnny Hungy came out and beat up Mark Sterling. And so Jade's new representation showed up. Sterling Hathaway, who you may know better as Malcolm Bivens.
Yeah, he's a hell of a mouth. Great promo guy. That makes so much sense together. Oh my God.
Absolutely. He is what she needs. No more talking at all, Jade. Stop with your catchphrases. They suck. Just let him do all the talking because he is worth it. So, and then of course, out came one of the surprises of the night, which was Athena making her AEW debut. You've long called for her to be the one to dethrone Jade.
I have. Once again, Mark Stradamus might strike again here.
We shall see, indeed. So it's good to see Athena back in there. So fantastic. One of my most favorite moments by far of the weekend happened next. You had House of Black versus Death Triangle in a match made for JJ. 100%. We all picked House of Black. And oh my God, the spots in this match were stupid. I mean, you got a pentagram step off of Phoenix's back into a Canadian Destroyer on the apron on Buddy. I really want to see Buddy and Pac do an Iron Man match because, please,
Why not?
They're the same. They're the same person. And you look at them, it's just ridiculousness. But the match was fantastic. The entrance was great. We all picked House of Black. House of Black won, but how they won was one of my favorite things. So, getting down near the end, and Pac setting up for a flying something from the top rope. Who knows what it's going to be? And blackout. Lights are on. There's the Black Heart. Julia Hart in the ring. Black gear. Eye exposed with the fucking painting and stuff. Black mist. Very well shot into the face of Pac for the victory. Leaves officially part of the House of Black.
Yay!
I mean,
finally.
Yeah.
What a slow burn, but it's worth it now.
True, but it also wasn't their intention. This is supposed to be finished up at Revolution, and then Phoenix got injured. So, to be fair, but yes, finally, I'm so happy to see where this goes. They back to back the Owens Hart. So just for your checking right now. So I'm one right behind Jamie. Megan's on the board with 3. I got 4. Jamie's so far perfect card man.
I feel like that's not gonna last though.
It didn't last too much longer because we had the Owens Hart tournament, men's and women's back to back. So they wanted to do it this way because there was a trophy. There was actually a little presentation and speech by Dr. Martha Hart. And oh my God, the digs that she took at WWE were fantastic in there. Because basically WWE has tried to, since his death, has tried to just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, you know, and more or less blackballed the memory of Owen Hart, period. So, reasons why the Hart family hates Vince McMahon number 87, right? So, Samoa Joe, Adam Cole started. We all picked Adam Cole. Adam Cole won. Shorter than I expected match. It was fine. I think the two of them could have put on a better match together, though.
I agree.
Adam Cole was noticeably hurt, though. And he so hurt that he didn't wrestle last night. Spoiler. But so he's your Owens Hart men's winner, and then you had Ruby Soho, Ruby, versus Britt Baker. Britt coming out with one of the guitarists from Fozzy, and so Ruby goes, "Hold my beer," and comes out to a live performance of Rancid in the arena.
That was awesome when Rancid was out there. I'm like, oh my God. And then I loved how Twitter's like, oh my, I didn't know Triple H was a part of Rancid. This is so
fantastic. I even said there as she was coming out, Britt I was like, it'd be cool as hell the day that Ruby comes out to Rancid playing them in. And then Justin Roberts like, and Rancid! I'm like, oh shit, there we go. So Jamie and I both picked Ruby, and Megan picked Britt Baker for whatever reason. So this was a much better of the two match by far. This is a very good match. It was better, I think, than their first match they had together as well. It was actually one of the better matches of the night, I would say. And I get why they did what they did. Britt ended up getting the victory. Not using her finisher. It was kind of a back and forth roll-up thing that they did. But man, Ruby was so close so many times. I do understand it, You have Adam Cole and Britt. They're very much the faces of the company, right? Two of the faces, so it is what it is. So I want to see Ruby have a moment. That's all I want. Just have a moment. Win a title. Just give her due. For a woman who's as accomplished as she was through the indie scene, she got buried in WWE because of all the sorts of stuff. Let her have a moment. That's all I ask. So anyway. Next was Men of the Year and Paige Van Zant versus Sammy Kaz and Tay Conte. Jamie and I both picked Men of the Year and Paige to win. Megan picked, quote unquote, the Vlog Crew, which, okay. It's not exactly correct. I mean, Kaz isn't really on the vlog, but
but the other two definitely are.
Other two are the vlog now, pretty much.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch it anymore.
Paige Van Zant needs more time learning how to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that. Man of the Year looked great. Kaz looked great. Sammy super kicked Tay Conti by accident. That looked good.
That looked great. I was really excited about it.
that was kind of cool. In the end, Men of the Year, Paige Van Zant did get the victory though. So the stipulation was that if they won, Sammy and Kaz cannot challenge Scorpio for the title. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, it's over.
Finally over.
It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over.
And we have thoughts about this. So, next one was my surprise match of the entire night. I'm sorry this is taking a while, guys. Like I said, there's a lot of them. And I'm trying to go through as fast as I can. My surprise match is my Darby Allin, Kyle O'Reilly. Very last second ad. Why the fuck you doing this, right? Well, they're doing it to stretch it out so they wouldn't interfere with NBA Game 7. Whatever. This could have been a Dynamite, could have been a Rampage match, but my God, this match was great. It was, as you expect, Kyle O'Reilly, Darby Allin. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly is a relatively similarly sized person, so this wasn't a Darby gets beat up for 75% of it and then goes with a flurry at the end. It was actually a very enjoyable match. Still could have been your, Rampage main event or a Dynamite, mid-card, mid-show main event, whatever. Darby Allin's who we all picked, and we were all wrong. Kyle got the victory.
That was very shocking to me. I was shocked.
I mean, you said it. It's ROH Kyle is back in full force. So I'm good with that. And like I said, I was fully expected this to be whatever, a snoozer or a match. Like, this is where you go refill your drink and go to the bathroom, but it was really good. Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb was up next for the AEW Women's title. Ooh. We all picked Thunder Rosa, and this match is why we get mad at Tony Khan about the women's division. Mm-hmm. Yes, Jade Cargill match sucked earlier, right? It wasn't that good. Ruby Soho, Britt, great match. We knew it would be. The two are on top of their game, right? This one here, fantastic. It shows Thunder Rosa is a better wrestler than she is a talker, even though her last promo before the pay-per-view was fantastic. This was good. And Thunder Rosa got the victory. I don't know what direction they're going to go with that now, unfortunately. But at least we have solace in knowing that when push comes to shove and they're given the opportunity, we will get some great women's matches. Let's get better. So we have 3 matches left. We have Anarchy in the Arena, Jericho Appreciation Society, Blackpool Combat Club versus Blackpool Combat Club, Santana Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. Man, it's too long to say. This, we all picked Blackpool Combat Club and company, by the way. It surprised me because I thought it was going to be utter dog shit. And it was just chaos in the best way. I mean, I've never seen mustard used as a weapon.
First time for everything, man.
Eddie Kingston was on fire, almost literally. Everybody was bleeding in this. Everybody fucking bled in this. They let. Apparently, I didn't know this because we talked about this before ECW things, but apparently it was a nod to New Jack. They let Jericho came out first, and then Blackpool, Santana Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston all came down the ramp, and they had and then they went out and met them in the crowd and started. But they kept the song running like 3 times through, Wild Thing. And me and Chris were both like, turn the fucking song off. Seriously, somebody apparently that was a nod to New Jack.
Yeah, they New Jacked it.
I didn't know that. But it turned to a spot as well in the middle of the match. Lots of spots. All the bloody, horrific things you can expect. I mean, Eddie Kingston literally, like, had a fork and carved out a piece of Matt Menard's head. I wish I was just being facetious there, but I'm not.
No, chunks came out. Yeah.
It was a lot more bloody and violent than I expected. Put a pin in that. But the Jericho Appreciation Society got the victory. So, going into 2 matches here, we all picked the same thing on the main event. So we stand as such. I am sitting here with 7. Jamie is currently with 8. And Megan has 6. So, as much as it pains me to say, no, I miscounted here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Sorry. I didn't miscount. So, this next match, Jamie and I differed on. Megan is basically, for the most part, out of it, right? But Jamie and I differed on. And depending on who won this match is going to determine if we go to a tiebreaker or if Jamie steals the belt. Or wins the belt.
Recaptures what's rightfully mine.
Sure. Use whatever verb you want here, folks. Triple threat AEW tag team match. Jurassic Express versus Starks and Hobbs versus, what are they calling themselves? Swerve in their glory.
Swerve in their glory.
Keith Lee and Swerve. I don't think you need a funny name, but whatever. Oh my God, this match was great. This match was fun. This match was fantastic. I picked Swerve and Lee. I figured it's time for Jurassic Express to drop them. You and Megan both picked Jurassic Express. So, Swerve and Lee came this close several times over. Very much like Ruby. But in the end, Jurassic Express got the victory, which guarantees that I got to drive over to Jamie's house and give him this belt back. He reclaimed it fair and square.
It's mine.
No tiebreakers, no shenanigans needed. Congratulations, Jamie. You are the champions. So, final match was Adam Page versus CM Punk for the AEW World Title. We all picked Punk. Punk won. Excellent main event. If not, even though the sloppiness had happened, because we found out that CM Punk definitely cannot do a buckshot lariat like we thought.
Oh my God, CM botch.
But he played it off fine enough and made it work, and it was a great moment. The only other announcement that happened throughout the whole night was that there was an Andrade promo. Andrade was in Mexico, just got married. Congratulations, Andrade and Charlotte. But he did a promo pre-taped to announce the newest member of the roster, Roosh.
And everybody's like, it's Rush. It's like, it's Roosh.
It's spelled that, but it's pronounced Roosh. And if you don't know who he is, look him up. Him and Andrade were a tag team. They actually started Los Incognerables. I butchered that.
Whatever name it is,
whatever that thing is from New Japan, the Hispanic sounding faction in Japan, they started that when they went over there. A long time they tagged together in Mexico as well. He was Ring of Honor World Champion near the end there, got hurt, dropped it. Anyway. He is. If you like Andrade and you think, boy, why don't we just copy that, make another one of those? You just got that. And he said he's dropping the AFO. He was a terrible idea, which he's correct. It was a terrible idea. he didn't break kayfabe too hard because they're going to definitely be in the mix for the tag titles. Seeing them versus FTR is going to blow my effing mind. Just say. No coin drop, no Osprey, no nothing. It was just a Punk celebration at the end.
I was very disappointed with that. I was disappointed by a lot of things like that on that and on Wednesday. Not even gonna lie.
I figured so much. So, sorry. I'm trying to change the graphic here. So give me 1 second because I want to do you right. So now we're going to move the belt over to Jamie's side. Congratulations, Jamie. I'll make sure to get this in your possession soon. You drive by my house.
Time.
You drive by my house twice a week.
6 times.
2-time Spotfest champion. 2-time Spotfest champion.
6 times.
We got to start going off of the actual belt, not necessarily the ancillary Anyway.
I won 5 consecutive, and I won 2 of that. So this is my 3rd time with that belt.
You win 2 of this?
Yeah, I've won 3 out of the 4 with the Spotfest champion.
I thought this was our 3rd. Time is a flat circle. What can I say?
Because we've had it since the beginning of the year. Revolution. No surrender.
Rebellion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had two
Impact.
TNA, 2 impacts, and that now 2 AEWs.
I didn't think we had this for Revolution. I didn't think we had it for
that was the inaugural. That was the inaugural.
Rebellion. So okay. Regardless, 3-time Spotfest. Congratulations. When you're driving to softball, stop by and pick it up sometime. No, I'll get to you one way or another. By the way, when might we be deciding this next? Well, Slammiversary is next month.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. And we could technically do, if you really wanted to, because Slammiversary then a week later is Forbidden Door. I don't think we should do Forbidden Door, but
I think we shouldn't do Slammiversary and just do Forbidden Door.
I mean, Slammiversary is the all-out, the WrestleMania of Impact. And if we're going to do the Impact ones as part of this, we really have to do Slammiversary if nothing else.
Well, then we have to do Forbidden Door because that is a AEW main pay-per-view because they only do 4. This is a special 5th.
Okay, well,
with New Japan,
it'll be twice in, so it'll be 1 week later.
Gotta defend it.
If you're good,
I'm a defending champion.
Okay, cool.
I'm a defending champion.
We will go for picks then. So stay tuned here. We will see what happens with our title. Like I said, Slammiversary is up next. Forbidden Door a week after that. And then we get a little bit of respite, maybe a month or 2. I don't know. Well, yeah. It is what it is. It's the fun of it. So
with it still unannounced all out, which is kind of annoying.
I know. I mean, it's annoying for us because with it potential, because we didn't talk about this before. Tony Khan has said both that in media scrums over the weekend. He said that he likes having it in Chicago and keeping it in Chicago, just like he's keeping Double or Nothing in Vegas, right? He wants that in Vegas every year. But he's also said that he'd like to see all out travel, go to different other places. Mm-hmm. What's it going to be? The reason we're wondering is because if it's in Chicago or if it does travel but it stays close to us, we're going. Mm-hmm. If it's not,
for sure,
we're not. If it's going to be in like Boston, sorry. It's too far.
Yeah, I'll have to go to a GCW show or something. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure that out. So anyway, that's to be determined later. We have Double or Nothing complete here, and last night was the fallout. So Jamie, let's talk about Dynamite post Double or Nothing.
It was a great show, but it was overshadowed by 2 things.
Okay.
2 big things, and one that should have happened. So
I know exactly what you mean. Okay.
All right. And one of those, okay, so we'll just run through this. CM Punk and FTR face off against Max Caster and the Gun Club. Or sorry, Ass Boys. I apologize. Good match, great match. Again, had yet another CM Punk botch. Like, he should not try to come off the top rope for any reason whatsoever. Springboard style, anyway. Punk and FTR get the dub. There's a piece after that. I'm gonna put a pin in there. Then there was a MJF promo. We're definitely gonna put a pin in that.
We're putting a giant pin. We're gonna round that. That's our finale, folks.
Yeah, because oh boy. The
next thing though got me so amped.
So Johnny Elite was gonna go against anybody. Anybody in the back. He doesn't matter. Any AEW roster. And here comes a quick little vignette of none other than the Redeemer himself, Miro.
Yes.
Who has been redeemed, and now he's coming for his God's house. Like, I'm like, oh my God. He's going to take over the kingdom of heaven.
He said he now that his, what do you call it? His sand neck or whatever is, whatever. Mm-hmm. His neck had been fixed. He can now return to AEW to help his friends, the bastards, the punks, the cowboys, even the pagans too. So he just literally called out Pac, CM Punk, Hanger, Malachi and company. All the possibilities. But anyway, I love that.
Right?
Just his promos alone make me so happy, but to see him back is great. I really thought we'd see him on Sunday, FYI.
I was hoping, but this actually worked out much better.
It did.
He beat the shit out of Johnny Elite. I'm sorry. There was some.
It wasn't a squash. Offense. It wasn't a squash.
It was a squish. Not a full squash. Miro won with a game over. Shocker. Then you had, oh my God, Jericho Appreciation Society doing an in-ring thing. The only thing that we got out of this was they tried to recapture William Regal doing War Games with Blood and Guts,
which doesn't not flow nearly as well off the tongue.
No, as good as War Games, especially for him. So basically, Blackpool Combat Club and friends were challenging Jericho. Jericho said no. Here comes Ortiz, hits Jericho in the head with a loaded sock, and then cuts off a piece of his hair. So, in order to get blood and guts, they have to do a hair versus hair match between Jericho and Ortiz.
Which both matches were later announced as happening. So hair versus hair is happening in St. Louis in 2 weeks, which St. Louis is going to be Road Rager this year. So there's that. And then the Detroit show is going to have Blood and Guts. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. The Detroit show, I mean, let's be honest. As much as I hate the JAS crap, Anarchy in the Arena was fun. And seeing them Blood and Guts,
It was.
It's gonna be fun.
I think it was mainly fun because Eddie Kingston almost lit Jericho on fucking fire.
I don't know
he
what
poured gas on him and everything.
He is. I love. He's fully in the Mad King bravado now. I love it.
God, and he's so over with the fans too. Oh my God! Like I love him. I love him. So, after this, you had the Bucks and Red Dragon with Hikuleo going against Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, Matt Hardy, and Darby Allin. Darby was a late fill-in for Jeff because Jeff is quote unquote in bad shape, and it's actually yeah, it actually all stems from his match with Darby Allin. Fun fact there, he got the shit kicked out of him in that match because that was just both of them did bad things to their body because they're one-upping each other, and it just ended out bad.
Two men trying to kill each other and themselves, and one of them is about twice, if not a little bit more, older than the other one. We know how that is.
Yeah. So Jeff had the night off. He's gonna have quite a few nights off probably because his body is just woo.
Oh, Seriously.
A fun match, honestly. There was this really kick-ass Jungle Boy Destroyer. That was like one of the sickest moves out of the whole thing.
Did he do like a step up off of Lucha?
Step up off of Luchasaurus, yeah.
Oh.
Just jumped over and got one of the Jacksons, I don't remember which one, right into a Canadian Destroyer. I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, see him. I do remember. Now that I just want to throw it back here because that's the exact same thing that Penta does off of Phoenix a lot. And oh my god, I'm just getting memories of those two going back and forth doing double step up, step off, destroyers. Sorry, destroyers get me distracted. Keep going.
Yes. Winner of that match was the Undisputed Elite with Bullet Club Sikaleo. Put a pin in that because he was like the representative of New Japan today, other than one showing, which got a decent pop. Not the pop he could have got. So after this, you had the interview with Athena. Jade Cargill interrupts, and they start talking. And then here comes Anna Jay and Chris Statlander to back up Athena. So you have easily a 6-woman tag match coming in your very near future, maybe Wednesday. Which that'd be cool. Athena's first match would be in Kansas City. I'd be cool with that.
It's not. They announced later on her first match is going to be against Kiera Hogan on Friday. It's a live Rampage in somewhere in Orange County. I don't remember where. But yeah, it's not going to be her first match. Here's my problem. Okay. The Athena thing with the interview run in with Stokely, and because Stokely did the talking after Jay came out and said her two catchphrases, right? That could have been a little backstage, quick little vignette, right? Why not replace this timeline? You could have done a tag match between Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet versus Anna Jay and Chris Statlander, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not just do that? Why do that? And I mean, these are the things that I'm just like, I get there's that, and yes, I'm a one string guitar. I know, but you could. I mean, it's just to me this like did nothing but just delay the inevitable match, which we really don't care that much about. You know, we want to get to the point where we get Athena versus Jade Cargill, and you're gonna have WWEing it up, you know, with them kind of mix matching back and forth, and it's like, just have a match and move it on. Sorry. Exactly.
So after that, though, you did have Wardlow's first match as an official member of the AEW roster against poor JD Drake. I think his love of North Carolina barbecue over Kansas City barbecue got in his way of victory. And he got powerbombed twice by Mr. Wardlow. After which, smart Mark Sterling served Wardlow with a he got served to go to court because he's
class
action lawsuit for the American ring security arena
security workers or something like that.
Yeah, American arena security professionals. There it is. I have it.
My favorite part is they sent one of the guys up with the papers to give it to him, and he steps in, and Wardlow, and you can visibly hear this as he goes. He goes, "This guy doesn't watch the product, apparently." And he got beat up and tore up the thing and put it in his mouth, and
powerbombed, like a really hellacious powerbomb. That was fun. They did a quick thing with Dan Lambert about Dante Martin, setting up the Dante Martin Scorpio Sky match on Friday. That should be a good match.
Yep. I never asked you, what do you think of the Lakers-inspired TNT belt for Scorpio?
Love it.
I do too. It looks. I didn't think that the gold strap, the way they were doing it, would work. It works so well, though. It looks very good.
It's a pretty belt. Really pretty belt.
Needs to be white. Needs to be white and green. I'm just Miro.
Oh, I know. The Redeemer. Yes.
It's coming.
After this, honestly, this was my match of the night. This match was great.
Very good.
Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Sorry, Britt Baker, DMD. Apologize. And Jamie Hayter going against Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby. And Toni Storm. This match was really damn good. And like, it's hilarious how similar Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm really are. But when you see them in the match, you see it. Like, basically, the differences between them is a little bit like one's got blonder hair than the other. Like, it's basically about it. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, those two are big brute style. I mean, even though Tony's not as brute as she used to be,
they're
definitely
more strong style, British strong, I would say, is where they lean the most.
Excellent match. And actually, surprisingly, Britt Baker took a pin, ladies and gentlemen. Britt Baker took a pin.
By who?
None other than Ruby Soho after she hit the Final Destination. Or Destination Unknown, sorry. Final Destination. That's a scary movie.
It's the wrong and the wrong song. Yes.
And the wrong song. All right. After this, you had your main event, and this was Jon Moxley versus Danny Garcia. Good match. Great match, actually. John's stitches got busted wide open. He didn't care. Just kept getting after it. Oh, dude, he was. It was awesome. Moxley wins, of course. He actually gets hits a paradigm shift, and then he does the bulldog choke.
Yeah, it was, and then afterwards he comes out, and because Jericho came down and Eddie came down and whatever. He formally says that he's in for the blood and guts, whatever. It was a continuation of the match from Sunday. That didn't mean it was bad though. It was fine. I'm with you though. The women's match was my match of the night by far. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, but yes.
No, Jesus, like that match was so good. Like,
and the crowd was into it too. The crowd was into it as well. They were really into that match, which I love to see because makes me feel validated because we always talk about this, and especially I'm sitting here yelling at Tony Khan, and I feel like we're not alone. It's like, yes, good. So
you're not the only guy yelling at Tony Khan. There were two guys who yelled at Tony Khan today. We're gonna start with the first one who did.
Okay.
And that was none other than Mr. CM Punk, Mr. Face CM Punk, super duper baby face CM Punk, new AEW World Champion. Makes me want to puke because he is just like the heel turns coming.
The face part, not the champion part, right?
No. I like him being champ. Okay. I just want him to be a heel. Like, he is. It's time. It's time for asshole Punk to come out. It's just time. But anyway, so he's like, who am I facing at Forbidden Door? We have pay-per-view to sell. Who is it? And this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, where JB wanted to hear one thing and one thing only. And JJ, what is that one thing?
That would be a coin drop, I'm going to assume.
That would be a coin drop to hear that the Rainmaker is coming out to challenge CM Punk, champ versus champ. But what did we get? We got the second best thing, honestly. We did.
I mean, it's not a bad fill-off. And no, it's not Ospreay, for those who haven't seen.
No. It is none other than the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Which, I mean...
The ace.
That's not a bad concession if you even want to consider it a concession.
Yeah, not even close. Is it 1A and 1B? No, it's 1 and 2 for sure. Okada's 1, but I really am hoping that they do use Okada against somebody. And I kind of you're going to hate me for this.
Okay, who?
I kind of want to see him going against MJF right now.
That would be, considering what we're going to talk about here in a few moments. That would
the outcome of that gets MJF's
so many amazing things. Honestly, I legit, wow. My question is Okada going to be a part of this for sure?
Oh, I hope so. Like
We don't
he's been
know.
wanting to come back to the States for a while.
I know.
He
And
is their biggest draw too. Like you
That's-
gotta have him.
I think so, but I just don't know what their perspective is on this as well. If this is just a, we'll do them a favor, we'll do some cross promotional stuff, or if they're viewing it as big a deal as we are. I don't know that, right?
Yeah. I would assume because it's gonna get them more viewers. It really is.
Well, they want to keep doing American shows. They had their show in Chicago, which did very well. What, 2 months ago, something like that?
Yeah.
So I would assume so. I mean, that would be great. The point is, if you're not going to put Okada up versus the top guy in the company, who is it? Right? Maybe Mox. Maybe you could argue for Mox. You could argue potentially for Jericho because of just name recognition. And, there's some history there. Kenny's out still. He's not going to make it for Forbidden Door.
Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole. I think you're going to get Cole versus Ospreay. Or you're going to have Cole involved in some sort of Bullet Club angle thing.
Yep, that's exactly where I was going. Some kind of Jay White something. Because right now, the only people that have been brought out for any kind of New Japan stuff has been just Tanahashi and Jeff Cobb and the Great Okan. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's it. We saw Hikuleo.
Cool. Which, yeah, sure.
But he's New Japan strong, technically. He's here in the U.S. So
Bullet Club, so I mean it's ancillary.
I mean,
Jay White, we've seen Jay White as well too, though. So I mean, there's going to be Bullet Club angle. Jay White's in the ethos already of AEW. I think it would make sense because you've already had the UE kind of poke their head in.
Mm-hmm.
You have a UE versus Bullet Club thing, right? Or maybe even UE Bullet Club Undisputed Elite, somehow. Because we know that Cole and Jay White are solid, but Jay White has problems with the Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that lead? I don't know. There's so many angles you could go with that. That's the exciting thing about this show is like there's so much stuff you can do.
Well, you brought up that, and I want to bring that up too, because that is a beautiful segue to something I do want to talk about before we get to MJF.
Okay.
The Bucks just recently on their Twitter, because as we all know, they are just trolls on Twitter. They changed their main picture from the Undisputed Elite to them with Hangman. Just the three of them.
Yep.
So this could be the start of the split of the Undisputed Elite. And then we could have Red Dragon going against the Bucks, going against the Guerrillas of Destiny, going against Dick Togo and Evil. Like, there's so many possibilities that we can get for this. Like, I see that happening. Or you could get Hangman Okada.
Hangman Okada would be wonderful. That would be really good.
Ace.
I think that the problem is that there's too many unknowns right now. We don't exactly. First of all, how many people from AEW are going to really be involved in this? Is House of Black going to be going up against House of Black going to be going up against Evil and Crew? Because that would be just mind bending.
Oh my gosh,
Malachi versus Evil. Just take my money now. How far deep are we going to go with this? Right? We don't know that. There's not everybody's going to get a match. Unfortunately, there's just not possible, and we don't know how many and who is really coming over from Japan. Who can come over? Is there anybody who can? They got travel problems right now. They can't. We don't know. All we do know is pretty much not going to be any women, because they said Stardom is not involved with this, which is a shame.
It is a shame.
And the hanger angle, I think, is a good point to bring up, because even on commentary during the Bucks match, Cole was on commentary because he jacked up his shoulder, like we talked about, right? And on commentary, he was talking about Hangman finally being, finally got taken. You find no more as a champion and this and that, and made like 2 or 3 references to like the past of the Bucks and Hangman, right? So it's interesting. I didn't know that about their Twitter handle because I think you're right. I think I was skeptical to believe the Hanger reunion angle. It makes the most sense for what you do with him when you really break it down, though.
Yeah, because it seems like the Dark Order's like done, which sucks.
I don't know the direction. I don't know what direction you go with the Dark Order, really.
I mean, they lost Stu, but
Lost Stu, and that kind of makes Evil Uno ineffective now. And
yeah,
he's almost more. He's almost more involved with the AEW game stuff than he is with
actually wrestling,
which is a shame because he's damn good. But at least he's still in the realm. I'm with you on 5. I feel the same way as 10. Like, I feel like they've been stuck in like neutral for a while, and their characters do nothing for me. Maybe a reset would be good for them. Reynolds and Silver can do their own thing because Silver's super over and Reynolds is his partner, right? So they can do their own thing. Anna Jay, they seem to be kind of branching her away from the Dark Order in general.
Yeah, because she went back with her star gimmick. I mean, she's still came with Dark Order music, I think.
And it said Dark Order's Anna Jay on her lower third. But yeah, she was back in her magician outfit. So what do you do with Hanger? I mean, unless you have a plan to have him, maybe you have him reunite the Dark Order, but I'm with you. I think it makes a lot of damn sense to go with that angle.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I have a feeling we are going to see more get set up Wednesday. A lot more get set up Wednesday.
I think for sure. We don't have a lot of time. Like I said, we got a month until so they got to get this card somewhat quick, right? So, plus they got blood and guts and
Japan guys.
We could have. Oh my god! If Okada was in Kansas City, Jamie might just jump out of the luxury box, run down the aisle, and just barrel over. You might just lose the shit.
I would jizz my pants. Like, I
think your promise originally was you were going to shit your pants.
Shit my pants, yes.
But that was at home, so as long as there is some flu. Okay, let's
yeah. So, all right. So let's just go ahead and move on to
the main event.
Pipe Bomb 2022. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it Pipe Bomb 2022 because this was a pipe bomb of all pipe bombs.
So much.
And if you hated MJF before this and you still hate him now, shame on you. Like, he spoke hard truths. Like, hard truths. Just like good old CM Punk did back in the day when he did his. What are your thoughts?
He spoke hard truths. The way he did it is ambiguous enough that I'm not going to lie. Part of me is like, maybe this is a work after all. Because
there are reports it is a work now.
I'm just like, the way he did it, one of the best promos I think I've ever seen. Probably the best promo I've seen in AEW. Period. Just going to say that. Pipe Bomb is a great association because my God, he brought all the thunder. So get into it.
I mean,
he starts with the HBO deal shoot.
Yeah. He comes out and says you got a lot of people here. Points out the Warner Brothers Discovery executives are here, and he wouldn't want to embarrass his boss, and something bad happens. I'm like, oh my God! Like he literally went up there like, I don't give a fuck, and that's how it came across. And he said he wasn't Maxwell Jacob Friedman; he's just Max Friedman. And he ripped off the scarf, and he was just talking, and everything like there's just so much to unpack from this. Everything, he doesn't have he doesn't chase the stars or the crazy spots, but he's the best goddamn wrestler in the world and in this company. Because I'm sorry that I want to make sure these guys are safe, and he wants to make sure that when he hits something, no one gets hurt and all this. And like I'm like, oh my god, like he is just calling out these spot monkeys
breaking
hard,
kayfabe bad.
And then like he's like, no one's on his level. Everything he touches, he turns to gold. He makes moments. And here's the thing. He's not expected to come in there and hit home runs every time he comes in there. He's expected to hit grand slams, and he fucking does it every time. I'm like, oh my god.
Then he turns to the fans and shoots on them.
Yes. He says, he hears boos and hears some clapping. And he goes, where were you fans this weekend when everybody's calling me unprofessional?
I just was like, oh.
Yeah. Then he turns his attention to the boys in the back.
Back to Tony.
Yeah. And he's like, he says all the boys in the back wants his spot. They can have it. He says he doesn't want any more. He calls the fans uneducated, and he says they don't know shit.
He said shit a lot.
Writing down. Yeah, he said shit a lot. He tells everybody that their opinions suck and they change on the drop of a dime. He says that fans argue about where is it? I just lost it. He says fans argue that he sucks, then he's not a good wrestler, and then now he's one of their favorites, but it's like that the whole time. He screams he's the best. That's where I was there. Okay, hold on. Here it is. He says he's a generational talent. And says fans and Tony take him for granted. He's the second biggest. He says he's the second biggest minute for minute draw in the company. If you don't believe him, ask that boy Tony in the back. He'll get it for him.
Is that where you're getting in with Okada on that line? That's where I correlated when you talked about Okada. I'm like, because CM Punk's the number one draw line.
Obviously. Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
And he accuses Khan of not paying him, a guy who's been there since day one, and he's paying these ex-WWE guys who can't lace up his boots. I'm like, oh my god. I
don't think I've ever heard the words WWE. There have been references and all this stuff, and they talk about matches and these, and there's been names, but I haven't actually heard the letters WWE uttered in AEW.
Yeah, and he said it twice. He's like, "Would it be better if would you treat me better if I was an ex-WWE guy?"
Flat out, just said WWE. Just didn't give a fuck.
I'm like, wow. And then he's like, the only position Tony Khan should have is behind a guardrail. And he wants him to fire him. And because he's like, I can't wait till 2024. He's like, fire me, you fucking Mark, fire me.
Yeah,
exactly like that.
He starts the F-bomb. It gets beeped out. He spikes the
They cut his
microphone.
mic, then he spikes it. Yeah,
they cut their mic. They spikes it, and they go to black. Commercial break. So, work or not work?
So
there's a little bit of both in it, no matter what. I know that.
It's both, 100% both. He even referenced it. It's like, I've heard you've been wanting to sit down with me for a while now. A little too late. He did say that, but that sit down did happen.
Right,
is what I've read.
I've heard that as well.
And they're gonna pay him. As also, no one can confirm anything. Like, that's the thing. No one knows everything, but it sounds like
the
things that got patched out.
That he's gonna get his money, and Tony's gonna get his years, and it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be happy. But the thing is like, they're using this now. They're using this fuel, both of them.
Smart as fuck.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, this is the pipe bomb. Like, this is exactly what happened. This is what took CM Punk from being CM Punk to CM Punk. like legit. Right. And now MJF was already MJF. Now he's fucking MJF. Like he's gone gonzo now. Like people were cheering, chanting, getting hyped at everything he was saying. They were behind every word because he is right. He draws emotion out of us. He does that. He's able to pull that. And if this is a work, in my opinion, it is. This is the greatest work since the pipe bomb. If not, will end up being better.
I don't think that's too bold of a statement. I think that's spot on, flat out. Because I agree with you. I felt at the beginning, okay, this is all going to be fanfare, whatever. Then I'm like, holy shit, this is a shoot. This is a shoot, yeah. And I'm like, nah, this is a work. It's a work. I felt that way. I was like, the way he came about doing it, this is a PhD level class in promo giving. This is beyond master's level shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason he's one of the pillars. And is he as good a wrestler as Jungle Boy or, Darby Sam? Maybe not. Not in the way that they are. Is anybody better than him on the microphone in this company? No. Can he be the anchor of this company for the next 15 years? Abso-fucking-lutely, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt, there was so much real emotion along with his character and everything all tied into this. Not often will I sit there and say that something was perfect, right? This was a perfect promo. It never wavered off. From the second he said, cut my music, till the second they cut him off of the screen, everything was done fantastically. So I agree with you 1,000%, Jamie. I'm with you on it.
It was amazing. Like I can't possibly put into words how perfect it really was. Like, because I'm sitting there watching it, and then like it takes a lot to get me going anymore at home, especially because if I'm, when I'm around other wrestling fans, I get amped up pretty easy. But when I'm home, it takes me a minute. I'm like, holy shit. Like he was just spitting fire, and it was beautiful. Now, but
what do you do with this?
Yeah, and the thing that also led me to know that it was a work is they didn't cut his mic way sooner. They didn't even let him talk. Like they said, you can talk. You knew that, okay, this has been approved. I'm going to say some shit about this. I'm going to say some shit about that. And then I'm going to ask you to fire me and you won't. And you'll put me through my own trials, which, I have to beat Okada, or something like that. And then I'll get my wish of getting fired or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And then he doesn't quite make it and he has to stay.
You can run that, and you can run that for a while because
a year.
Everybody's got that fantasy in them, fighting against. It's an old trope in wrestling. It is.
Stone Cold.
It was what made Stone Cold so fantastic, and he's not the only one that's ever run that, right? So it's an old trope for a reason, though. It's a relatable one, and if you have the right people, like Stone Cold, it's a fantastic one to do. So I'm all for this. I want to hear what you guys think about it too. So if you have any thoughts, direction, if you felt differently, if you felt this was a shoot, right? Give us a tweet at Total Spotfest or leave a comment down below here on YouTube. Give us your thoughts. What do you think about that? It was so good, I wasn't even mad there was no House of Black Julia follow-up. Not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any final thoughts from the weekend? Or past week, I should say.
No, that was a lot of wrestling.
a lot of wrestling. It was. And more wrestling to be had Wednesday. So this coming Wednesday is in Kansas City. We're excited to be going to that. Yes, we're going to drive home and then record a podcast after that. It's going to suck. It's going to be late, but it'll be good.
We're gluttons for punishment.
We'll get some Red Bull. We'll be good. We'll push through. So next Thursday, check in for that. Be on the lookout. We do have interviews lined up coming up here soon. We had to reschedule some things here and there, but we do have some interviews lined up coming up soon. Here are some people you don't want to miss. Let me just put it that way. So if you want to find out more, follow our Twitter. We'll give you the heads up. Or just, you can subscribe down below and hit the little bell icon. It'll tell you when we get a new video out. Either way. But we usually release those on Tuesdays, but keep an eye out. And that's what we got. So praise be to Miro. Jamie, if you got nothing else, take us home.
Everybody, thank you from your rating, defending, undisputed pay-per-view champion.
He doesn't know I just muted him, but I did.
Possible.
I didn't mute you. I should have though. Yes, Champ. Sorry.
Be muted.
Please finish.
I cannot be muted.
You can. It's right there. I just gotta click it. I mean,
that's fair. If you're not down with Total Spotfest, ladies and gentlemen, I have 5 words for you. The champ is back here.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Peace.